Hello and welcome then to another MotoGP fantasy preview, this time for round 9. Can you believe it? It's already round 9 in a season. It feels like it just started 5 minutes ago. And for round 9, we're heading to, well, somewhere just far up the road from us here in the Barcelona office. Only half an hour away, we're heading to the circuit of Barcelona, Catalunya, for the Catalan GP. And it's certainly going to be a big weekend, of course. Big recent news that Marc Marquez is to undergo a fourth surgery means he won't be here this weekend at his home GP. And it also opens the door for a lot of others to kind of step up and take opportunities where they can. The Catalan GP has always been an unpredictable one. In the last 4 years, we've had 4 different manufacturers win here. So there's certainly going to be some drama and chaos this weekend. And joining me this time for the MotoGP Fantasy Preview Live, we have a very special guest in young star in Moto2, Fermin Aldeguer. So we'll bring him in and say hello to Fermin as he's joining us live from the Barcelona circuit. Fermin, how are you? Good to see you and welcome along to the MotoGP Fantasy Preview.
Hi to everyone. Yes, I'm good. It's a pleasure to stay here with all of you.
So, of course, for me, it's not quite a home GP for you this weekend, but it is still fairly close to home. Are you excited to get going in Catalonia?
Yeah, it's very important this weekend because for me it's a house GP, no? Because all my family, all my fan club is here, and I won't make a good race.
Now, of course, you've not raced here in the Moto2 World Championship yet. You raced here in Moto E last year. You did quite well there, but you've had a lot of success here in the past in the European Moto2 Championship. I think you were pole position, fastest lap, and won both races. So it could be quite a good weekend for you.
Yes, we have good potential, no, in this season, but I don't have the best luck, no, but we are strong, on my team and me, and this is important, no, for continue.
Well, hopefully we can see you have some good luck this weekend. Speaking of this weekend for me, and of course you're here to take a look at our MotoGP fantasy team, so we'll bring that up on screen now. And this is exactly the state of play that we are looking at. So we have Pecco Bagnaia in gold along with Enea Bastianini. Of course, those two had slightly differing weekends in Italy there, one crashing out, one winning. But then in our silver team, we have Marc Marquez, who's a rider we're unfortunately going to have to take out as he is but not necessarily injured, but he's obviously undergoing another operation to fix that right arm. And then we have Marco Bezzecchi as well, who had an incredible weekend at his home race in Mugello. Uh, so for me, really, for this weekend, we obviously know that we have to take Mark out. So if we already do that, because we're going to need to do it, we have 3.8 million to work with. Is there anyone that you're already thinking of to replace Mark in the team?
Yeah, I think I change Mark for I don't know. Uh,
Well, let's. So if we removing Mark gives us 3.8 million, and I
okay,
believe that allows us to have anyone we want apart from Fabio and Aleix because they're slightly too expensive. So
okay.
there's all of
I
these
change
guys.
Mark for Martin, George Martin.
Martin, okay,
Yeah,
that's a good choice. Good choice. Martin, of course, at the moment struggling a little bit, but we know that he's an incredibly fast rider and he's going to turn it on at any time. Um, so Martin, now, what does that leave us with for a second change? Because you can make a second change if you want to, Fermin. So it would leave us 1.7 million now. I'm not too sure if
yeah,
you wanted to change Pecco or
yeah.
Bastianini or maybe Bezzecchi.
Bast no, Bastianini. Yeah, I changed
Bastianini.
Bastianini for Fabio Quartararo.
Okay, he's gone for Fabio. We
I
can
th
just fit that in. Perfect. Look at that. Only 100,000 left,
Ooh,
so very good
on the
planning indeed.
limit. Yeah.
Yeah, very much on the limit. And I presume that you've gone for Fabio because obviously he was leading the race here last year and then had the leather mishap and then obviously won in 2020. I guess that's the reason why.
What?
I guess the reason why you've gone for Fabio is because he's extremely fast here in Catalonia.
Yeah, he is very faster here and is a little bit friend of me and maybe why not?
Exactly. Why not? It's certainly a good choice. So then, another question that we have to do, Fermin, is in the fantasy game, you can actually switch positions with these riders. So if you click on the little icon down here, we can move them between our gold and silver team. Now, for anyone watching that doesn't know the difference between the gold and silver team, your gold riders score 100% points and your silver riders score 50% points. So it's a little bit of another element to add. So I don't know if you want to rearrange the order for me, or if you're happy with this order as it is.
No, no. Put George Martin in the Gold Riders
Yep.
and Cheng for Pecco Bagnaia. Yeah.
Okay. Changing out for the most recent race winner. So here we go then. So your team at the moment then is Jorge Martin and Fabio Quartararo in gold with Aprilia, which is certainly a good shout for your constructor. Then Pecco Bagnaia and Marco Bezzecchi in silver. Um, and then really the final thing for me is you can choose to use a Mottl 300V boost, this little icon in the bottom left. It will double the points of any rider that you want to for this weekend. So say if you think Fabio is going to win this weekend, you could double his points if you choose to boost him.
I don't understand. Good.
So say if Fabio scores 40 points this weekend in MotoGP Fantasy, if you choose to boost him with this little icon here in the bottom left, then it means
Okay.
he will score 80 points.
Yeah.
Not too sure if you want to do that, if you think it's a good idea. Is there anyone do you think that Fabio is a
Yeah, yeah.
favourite for this weekend?
Yes, it's the favorite. For me, it's the favorite.
Okay, so if you think are you 100% sure he's going to win?
Yeah,
Okay,
he can win.
so let's put a boost on Fabio for this weekend then. So we've gone for a boost on Fabio Quartararo. So that means, of course, he will double the points that will be scored. So for anyone watching, if you haven't used your Mottl 300V boosts yet, you get 3 of them throughout the year. We've already used 1, and now we're going to use another this weekend, and it gives us 1 left to use in the second half of the year. So it just double the points that rider scores for this particular GP. Now, for me, of course, we've chosen our fantasy team, and we have to talk a little bit about your season at the moment. Your season, you've shown incredible speed, but it's just sometimes when you've had those opportunities, there's been bad luck or a crash, and it's been a little bit frustrating, I imagine.
Yes, with all the problem of this season, I'm happy, no, because my potential is good. Uh, I'm improving, no, a lot in all of the race, and this is important, no, for the next year and of my career. And nothing. I'm very happy with all the work, no, of my team. And nothing. I only have to continue in this line because we go good and nothing.
Perfect. Well, for me, I mean, a massive big bout of good luck from me for this weekend. Of course, we know that you have the speed, and I would love to see you back up the front this weekend and fighting for the podium.
Thank you, thank you. See you all.
Thanks for me. Thank you for joining us. So then, this is going to be Fermin's team that he has chosen for this weekend. Of course, he's traded in traded in Jorge Martin for Marc Marquez. Of course, if you do have Marc Marquez in your team, you may want to make sure that you get him out of there for this weekend because he will not be on the grid for the foreseeable future. So certainly get him traded out and get someone else in that will be scoring a hefty dose of points. Now, of course, now we have plenty of other options if we look down here. Of course, Fermin this time has chosen to bring in some couple of different options, but say if you were looking at Brad Binder, who of course wasn't right up the sharp end there in Italy, but had an incredible race and finished just 4 seconds off the win and came from 16th on the grid, I believe, or something like that. So it's always worth looking out for those guys that are going to make a bit of a surge on Sunday and come through the pack. And Brad has been one of those all season long. It's always a good tell as well that if you look at the total points that they have throughout the season here, you can see that on this middle column down there. It's a good indicator of just kind of where their average points are at per GP for MotoGP Fantasy. And you can see that Brad Binder, although he's not always up the sharp end, scores some very, very good MotoGP Fantasy points. And that is another reason as to why his price is at 3.4 million. Now, another one to keep an eye on is Marco Bezzecchi. Of course, we have him in this team here. And then I also have him in my own personal team, and he's doing an incredible job at the moment. He scored a good dose of points last weekend as well, 20, after getting his first MotoGP front row. And then also the man below him as well, we have to give a shout out to Fabio Di Gianantonio for picking up his first MotoGP pole position, and a great ride to stick with those lead pack for quite a long time. So there really is a lot of options. Of course, we have to look down as well and go to Alex Rins and Johan Mir, the Suzuki guys. They've had a little bit of bad luck recently with 2 double DNFs in the last 2 races, but they go very well here. Alex Rins back in 2019 was 4th. And then, of course, last year, unfortunately, he didn't compete here because he had that freak incident on Thursday where he broke his arm on his bicycle. But in 2020, both Suzuki boys were on the podium. So it's certainly going to be a good one to watch out for. And we do have to say as well, Aleix Espargaro, it's his home race. He grew up 2 kilometers away from the track. And we've had 4 constructors win here in the last 4 years. And it could well be a 5th one this weekend with Aprilia. So before we sign off then, make sure that you are tuned into MotoGP Fantasy. Sign up now if you're not done so already. There's still plenty of prizes to be playing for. If you've been competing since the start, you already know this as we show you every week, but we'll show you again once more. Season prizes for first, second, and third place overall. You could walk away with a lovely thing looking like this. Or even the weekly competition prizes. You can get 2 tickets to any MotoGP event that you want, which is certainly quite handy in itself. So then that is going to be it from us over here. We'll give you one last little look at Fermin's team as we do sign off. Make sure you tune into the Catalan GP this weekend. It's the home race for us lot here in the office based in Barcelona, and it should be a very special atmosphere indeed. Thanks very much for watching, and bye for now.